Welcome to the Spendwise Moms channel, your homemaking resource hub. Today I'm showing how to make Greek puff bread. It isn't too hard to make, and it is so cool to watch the bread puff up. To start with, put 2 cups of flour into a bowl. Add 2½ teaspoons of yeast, 2½ teaspoons of sugar, and 1 teaspoon of salt. Mix them together. In a measuring cup, put 1 tablespoon of olive oil in it. Then fill up the rest of the cup with warm but not hot water. Pour this over the flour mixture in your bowl. Mix it well. Let the dough continue mixing for about 12 to 15 minutes. Use a spatula to scrape down the sides of the bowl if needed partway through. Now gather up the dough into a ball and place it back into your bowl. Place some plastic wrap over it and put a towel over it to keep it warm. Let it rise for about 50 to 60 minutes. If I'm in the middle of doing dishes or laundry or a shower or something, I don't worry too much about the time. The bread can just wait for me until I'm ready to pay attention to it. Next, you divide your dough into 4 to 8 parts, depending on how big you want your pitas. I did a batch with 4 large white puff breads. Another batch I did 8 small 100% whole wheat puff breads. In this video I am doing 6, just to show you that it doesn't matter how you divide the dough. Cover the dough with plastic wrap and a towel and let it rest for 15 minutes. If you use the same plastic wrap, make sure that it is dry. When bread rises, it causes moisture on the plastic wrap. Next, roll it out. You don't want it too thin or it will be too crispy, but if it is too thick, it will be doughy and probably won't puff up. It may take a few tries to figure out the right thickness. You can see in the video how I make mine. Cover the dough with plastic wrap and a towel and let it sit for another 15 minutes. I usually heat my pan on a medium heat when I start the timer for this last 15 minutes. I would definitely suggest using a cast iron type pan for this, but you can tell from the video that a non-stick pan works just as fine as well. I feel a little uncomfortable leaving a non-stick pan on the heat for so long, so I usually don't heat it as long and keep a very close eye on it. Why do you heat your pan ahead of time? Well, you want it very hot when the dough goes into the pan. Put 1 loaf of dough in the pan for a couple of minutes on each side. Sometimes I try to smooth lightly across the top of the bread so it cooks evenly, but I really don't know if it makes that much difference. Be careful not to cut into the bread or pop the puff as it starts to rise. You also need to be careful when turning it over so you don't bust the bread or it won't continue to puff. In the past, I've made puff bread in the oven, but I feel like I have more control when I do it on a burner. I also just love to watch it puff up. I've made this recipe with 100% whole wheat flour as well as with white flour. It worked perfectly with both and tastes great. Sometimes you may have a bread that doesn't puff. It is disappointing when that happens, but it will still taste great. This bread really does taste good, but it is fun to make because you can watch it puff. Thanks for watching the Spendwise Moms channel. Please subscribe for more videos like this.